Today I fucked up by getting fully erect during an ultrasound on my balls. Forewarning, this is basically going to be a horny teenager story. About 2 years ago, after my physical exam, my doctor recommended that I go get an ultrasound on my testicles because he felt a mass. I went to go get an ultrasound and it was a young male doctor and everything was fine. So I thought I knew what to expect. My parents switched insurance and now I have a different doctor. A few days ago, I went for a physical and my doctor again recommended that I go for an ultrasound. The next day, I went to go get my ultrasound and to my surprise, a young female doctor, probably a resident since she looked 27 to 30 years old, called my name. She introduced herself and then said, "We're a bit short-staffed so I will be doing the ultrasound today." My heart started racing and I was confused because I expected a male doctor since it was a checkup for my balls and didn't really want to show another female my parts. Honestly, I would have been fine with an older female doctor, but the issue with her was that she was very, very attractive. She was wearing a mask but she had a great face and eyes, small boobs, a slim waist, and a fat ass. In for all the comments ID on Tessia P. Roby LM, I'm a virgin male teenager with helicopter parents and ever since coronavirus, I don't get much privacy and probably haven't jacked off in 3 weeks. Now you kinda get the idea of where this is going. Get into the room and she hands me a towel and instructs me how to use the towel to fold my penis up. The way she enunciated penis made my heart race and my head pound. She leaves the room to let me undress and I use the bathroom and see that I have a half chub. I undress, lay down on the table, and probably went through 5 iterations of how to fold the towel over my dick to hide my half chub. I'm laying there for a while, probably less than a minute but it seemed like 5 minutes, and reach for my phone and decide to browse Reddit while I wait. Unfortunately, the second post I scroll to is a highly upvoted post on the facefuck subreddit and I instantly go from half chub to full-blown boner. Fantastic. My mind was racing with how to get rid of it. I eventually settle on browsing build-up sales to try to calm myself. Suddenly, knock knock. I immediately throw my phone to the chair next to me and grab both sides of the towel to pin my boner down. I look down and could definitely see a bulge but think, maybe she'll just think I have a massive flaccid dick. My mind wanders to porn mode as she sits down next to me and I start having absolutely ridiculous thoughts like holy shit. She's going to blow me to help ease my nerves. Which does not help with the boner situation at all. I'm trying to think of the most unhorniest thoughts ever to try to control myself. She starts by putting the gel on the probe and immediately gets to it. Upon contact, I think, oh my god, this super hot doctor is touching my balls with a probe and my boner is literally pulsing under the towel. I'm looking at her and she's mostly looking at her screen and typing, so I reassure myself that she probably doesn't notice. Perfect, she's not even looking at me. I'll just hold the towel down and this will be over with. After a bit of probing, she turns to me and says, now I need to go up your groin area a bit, so I'm going to fold the towel up and push everything to the side like this. This all happens in slow motion. I see her hand slowly reaching for the bottom corner of the towel as she gently pries the towel from my death grip and boing. My fully erect dick springs up and launches the towel off, fully exposing me. I honestly don't remember her reaction. I frantically looked at her, looked at my dick, quickly grabbed the towel and wrapped up my dick like a burrito, and for the rest of the examination, I lay there with both my hands holding my erect dick back and let her finish the ultrasound. As I'm writing this I realize I didn't even apologize to her. I was dead silent the rest of the time. Thanks for reading my embarrassing story of the first female to see my fully erect dick. On a more serious note, I was wondering if other people who have gotten an ultrasound on their balls have also had female doctors do the ultrasound. Did you guys talk to the doctor while they were probing your balls? I'm honestly looking to hear more personal accounts from other people so I know what is normal and what to expect in the future if I ever have to get my balls checked out again. Too long didn't read. I went to go get an ultrasound on my balls and did not expect the doctor to be a hot female doctor. Couldn't control my raging boner and accidentally exposed myself to her. Edit. Thank you everyone so much for the reassurances, personal recounts, and in general positive responses. It makes makes me feel much better about what happened and what to expect when I go again. I appreciate all the LPT people telling me to flex my legs or a large muscle. I'll keep that in mind for the future. It's funny because she actually told me to flex my abs a few times, so maybe she was looking out for me. To everyone asking about my balls are fine, thanks for asking. Apparently, they are just so massive and the biggest balls they've ever seen. Just playing. They actually don't know what it is or what they've been feeling. Both my doctors felt something, but both ultrasounds came back fine, so I'm not sure what's going on. Personally can't feel anything, but I've also had these balls since I was born and I haven't really noticed anything out of the ordinary. To everyone saying 2 years ago coronavirus and saying I don't have my story straight, I apologize for the confusing timeline. 2 years ago, I got the same ultrasound done but with a male doctor. I was just setting the precedent that I thought I knew what to expect. This story happened last week. We're a bit short-staffed. Not anymore. I work in the ER. We recently had a guy in that accidentally tore his balls by trying to hang up a tire swing. At some point, he was trying to hang the tire with a large tow hook, slipped, and caught his balls on the hook. Fortunately, he did not rupture the testicles in any way, just tore the protecting skin. Unfortunately, I had the task of basically waterboarding his balls with cold water and cleanser prior to suturing. You would think that dumping cold water and soap directly on balls would keep him from getting erect. It did not. Email, and I still cringed and crossed my legs in sympathy for the dude. Edited to add in a missing word. I'm an ultrasound tech working in urology, so I scan kidneys and testicles all day. First of all, it happens all the time and I pretend I don't notice. I also prep the patient myself to make sure everything is tucked in nice and tight. That way if a patient becomes erect, it's not going to be terribly obvious. I do keep everything covered as much as possible to maintain privacy. If you have to have one again in the future and they ask you to do the prep, place your penis on your belly, take the towel or sheet and place it over the penis and tuck the sides in underneath you and pull it as tight as you can to keep the penis sort of pinned down, for lack of a better term, under the sheet/towel. I can assure you it isn't a big deal for us. I've had numerous patients become erect and I've had 2 that ejaculated. It happens. I don't make a big deal of it. Just give the patient some extra cloths, a little extra time to clean up. Try not to be too mortified. Smiley face. Whoa. So many comments and questions. I love talking about my job and am happy to answer any questions. I will do my best to respond to everyone. Thank you all so much. Second edit. I have put in a request over at r/IARMA to host an AMA. Once that is all set up, I'll post a link here and answer as many questions as I can. If I ejaculated in a medical exam, I am fairly certain I would die immediately. Wait till you're older and popward when a middle-aged Indian dude puts his finger up your ass to feel your prostate. Think you're embarrassed now? Just wait. Oh my god. Tell me you're lying. I'm 39 and super anxious. I hope your balls are alright. Edit, and with a question about another man's balls. This is my most upvoted comment ever. That is the real issue here. Need closure. Today I fucked up by exploding a mouse down my throat. A couple of things worth knowing before we continue. My partner is a farmer and we get up at 4 AM every morning. We also live in an old wood house up a mountain. Okay, so this happened this morning. We woke up as usual and I went to put on the coffee machine, which we set up the night before because 4 AM is a ridiculous time to try and do anything. While the coffee was brewing, I absent-mindedly began to clear the sink from the night before. We are pretty lazy at night, so all the dishes etc. just get soaked. So in my 4 AM haze I'm fishing about in the sink trying to clear out the rice from yesterday's meal so the water will go down. I grab what I assume to be a tea bag and go to put it in the bin. But of course, before I can do that I have to squeeze the liquid out as I don't want shitty water in the bottom of the bin. Here's the fuck up in case you didn't see it coming. The tea bag is a dead mouse that has drowned overnight and become waterlogged and swollen. I squeeze the mouse and it explodes, covering my face with its awful pink water/viscera. No idea why my mouth was open at the time, apart from it was 4 AM and I was probably mouth breathing and half asleep still. Tastes like pennies and sadness. I may never be the same again. Too long didn't read. I exploded a mouse thinking it was a tea bag and drank its divine juices, which I assume shot out of its waterlogged anus. Edit. Thanks to everyone contacting me to tell me to seek medical advice. I haven't have a follow-up appointment next week. I'm glad my fuck-up could turn so many stomachs. Pennies and sadness. Thank you for that apt description. I'm sorry BTW. I don't know why, but I could taste it too after reading this. Thanks op. Samesies, except I read it as penis and sadness. I am envious of 5 minutes ago me, who hasn't read this. That's the worst thing I've ever read, hands down. I'm so sorry. Forbidden Gusher. I feel you on the never the same thing. I once picked up an iced tea from Burger King to take a big sip, without realizing my mom had just finished it and used it to collect a ton of tadpoles from a lake nearby. Bit down on a few, lots of crying, lots of spitting, lifelong PTSD. Just got second-hand PTSD. Today I fucked up by telling my boss I smoke weed. This happened over the weekend and I still think I may hear about this in some way. So last Friday, some of us teachers were sent a text from our principal to sign some papers in our email. She likes to make sure everyone responds, so she'll message people individually after a while. I have a Saturday job as well, so I don't check it until I get home. Well, on my way home I decided to stop by my dealer and bought some mochi cookies. They smelled so good that I texted my fiancée to tell her what I got. Well, when I get home I asked her if she was ready to try the stuff I got. She was confused as to what I was talking about because she was asking for the name of it and how it smells. Told her that I texted the info before I got home. I checked my phone to see if it sent at all, but I discovered that I opened up the wrong text. I had told my principal/boss that I had bought some stinky button to get our pipe and grinder ready. She replied back saying no thanks but have a good weekend, and she left a winky face emoji. I've since talked to her only about work things. Nothing about this weekend had come up, but I'm still kind of freaking out. I've worked with this school district for 5 years. They don't do drug testing. I've known a few teachers from previous districts that used to partake. I live in CA. The principal and I have been on good grounds since I've started. Too long didn't read. Text my boss instead of my fiancé to tell them I had bought weed. Honestly, with her reply and not bringing it up again, I think you're in the clear. She doesn't seem to care, and I wouldn't be surprised if she partakes herself. Random person, they don't drug test teachers. My buddy teacher, nope. Random person, well why not? IBT, because there wouldn't be any teachers. You're good. The text back was for your peace of mind, so you wouldn't be freaking out about it because you know she saw it, acknowledged she understood the message and didn't say anything else about it. Consider that you might be slightly paranoid and are more likely to jump to conclusions. Winky face equals you are in the clear. After the shit teachers and principals put up with, you'll deserve it. Haha, good thing it's 2020 and just weed. Coulda been like, hey baby, just got some fresh Colombian, get the mirror out, I'ma chop up a fat rail and snort it off your tits. That would have gotten a devilish face from the principal. Someone close to me has recently started teaching and I have learned that most teachers smoke weed. I think nowadays if employers cared about weed they wouldn't be able to hire anyone.